Yo, welcome to another episode of Blockcast Podcast. Your host, Fire of Truth, aka Daryl the Rapper. I'm here today with Captain Rambo. And Captain Rambo is an individual that I met at Guiding the New Generation demonstrations. This was about 4 years ago, I think. Yeah. When you do the demonstration, they was walking through different ends and bringing light to what's going on in the ends, like with gangs and crime and so forth, what's going on in our community. But yeah, Captain Rambo, so what do you think about what's going on today with the youths in the sense of the streets, the industry and all of that?
First of all, if we talk about our youths, we have to say the apple don't fall far from the tree, because the rude boy or the ragamuffin business really started off in the 80s, fam. See? Yeah. Where most sound man them were real steppers, innit? Like them and they had to make moves, do things to keep the sound running, to like back in them days, what, 90 pence, 50 pence, 75 pence a record, £2 Then you're talking about dub plates and specials. Then you're talking about the preamps, your mid-range and all of that. You had to, most of the soundmen of that time were also involved in the street. They'd done a lot of stuff where we could quote no different than today. They hustled, you understand? Some of them sell weed, we all know that, let's be real, you understand? Some of them were even bigger than that. Some of them were actually area or community dons, fam. Okay. You understand? Where there were bosses who actually put the sound together, grab a couple of the young men and women on the road who had talent, who could DJ and who could sing. Because back in the days, like, right, we in this location we called Brixton, we had artists like Ricky Rankin, one of the great artists, Ricky Rankin, one of the known, was champions at that time. You had
what was that on reggae beats?
That was on dancehall, if we go call it that, because the history of that really will come from Studio One and come down to where we say bashment today. Okay. Dancehall. But as I was saying from the older days, that the younger guys will come. They were from Brixton, Stockwell, Battersea, Tooting, Peckham, will come to these dances, DJ on the mic. The man I will bust a little money for him. At that time, you must probably get a tenner. You know what I mean? If you was really
spitting on the mic and that.
Yeah, because when you're on the mic, yeah, fam, the value of money in the 80s periods to 90s is a bit different now. Yeah. Where a man could give you £20, while a DJ today say, "No, stop, that's 250 deposit, fam." Yeah. And I'm playing a 2-hour set, so I want £400, bruv. Yeah. Our artists could get Skibbity with RIP as a junglist. He used to make the money there. Okay. And all of the rest of and that type of money could make you not do road things, bro. Mm-hmm. But as
the money would last longer.
Would longer. Most artists had children to attend to. Most of the every soundman had kids. Mm-hmm. If they never had one child, they had 10. Wherever they went, they had children, so they had a responsibility
all over the place.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. So how do you think that, like the change in the industry and the road to today?
Oh, wicked.
How do you compare it? Do you think the streets are worse today, or do you think it was worse back then? Like,
shall I tell you what? It depends how you look at it, because we can't lie and deny the fact that man has been busting guns from fucking the 60s, bro. Yeah, we can't lie and chat shit and say, yeah, all of a sudden these youths are busting all of these guns, but man has been doing it from the fucking 60s, bro. Man them specialised in on robberies and all of that. The difference between gangs today and gangs yesterday, gangs today, most of them ain't organised, bro. Okay. When you say organised gang, I'm meaning you rarely know who is the leader and who is the boss and who is the don for the clique. Yeah. Now you got 20 dons for one gang, then they have internal beefs and internal problems. What leads to bloodshed,
There's no
murders,
structure.
and there's no structure, even when the money's coming in. Remember, how it always went in the gang culture, the boss, what they call it? The contratero, meaning the man who's beside the boss, who would give him advice when he's slipping and when he's doing wrong.
Like the right-hand man.
This right-hand man, then you had the underboss, then you had the captains. Now you got, don't know, because some bosses is doing what captains and soldiers do.
Yeah,
You know?
that's real shit.
And that's where the disorganization in the gang culture of today is in. Yeah, meaning when the police, this is what we have to bring, the truth, yeah? When the police is doing anything on gangs, first of all they want is two things: information and intelligence and intel. They're the two things what drops any gang.
Okay.
See? And when they got gangs what's disorganized and that, it's a bit harder to lock up everybody in that gang and thingy. Like in the 70s, 80s, then when you realise that in the 90s you heard about my man Irvin Gotti, who was not known as the Teflon Don. Through that prime example, they used his underboss or his capo to make his empire fall because of the intel.
Because how much information one person
Thank
holds.
you, the intelligence.
Like a right-hand man, he knows his boss better than his
Thank
boss
you, that's the
knows
intelligence.
himself.
That's the intelligence, the paperwork. Who's making what did they do here and what did they do that. The reason why I'm trying to expose all of this is if we go help our youths, we have to know where the history and know what they're about. Gangs of, when we're talking about English gangs or some of these youth gangs, let's say back in the 70s and 60s there was a lot of racism.
Yeah.
See, because you had the NF, you had the British National Party, and you had other fractions of the far right of the political or British government.
Okay.
What made our grandparents and made our parents say, "Hey, what? Y'all go shop, go with your friend them and go shop." Even if it was to shop, y'all go school. You go with your friend them to school and you come home from school. Then out of that gang, one or two of them are thieves and liars. So they go and thief things, and because because we didn't say no snitching back in the 80s and them time there, we would say informer. Or a man an informer. So we learned not to talk, and during that time, over the years, these are decades, we have learned to not to talk about anything when it comes to our community. And that is another obstacle. What helps, what does not help when we dealing with our youths. Because we told them for 30 years not to inform. Now they grow up and they know the so-called code. Because remember, all of these codes get broken by every single fucking gangsters. Every man who's in jail broke their gangster code and broke their gang code. You understand? Through what? You know, back in the days, certain those that have no dead man them, rape, murder, child molestation and all of that shit. Now, where's the orders? Where is the Don or the G in that gangs? To tell the head.
Because the difference was, say like back in the day now, if we got beef and they got beef, sometimes an older could come and be like, nah, you lot ain't beefing each other. Like beef could get squashed easier because there was positions, so this Don could phone that Don and be like, nah, squash the
Yeah,
this
or this brother could talk to his brother. And you know, because that's how it all went. It was back in the days, it was more of a family and an area what would have made you become involved in certain gangs without even me naming any gang, because it wasn't the name, it was the community you come from what really meant.
That's what holding the way.
Because you could leave from South and join East London gang because you haven't got the foundation, the warning. No one can't say, yo, you're not saying grandma or his grandfather or his auntie or his uncle or his dad used to or his brother used to.
Yeah.
What you done, must have made friends from jail or a couple of raves. Now you made a gang, and
Or you would have to put in more work.
Yeah.
Innit? If you ain't got no family affiliations, them dons
Exactly.
ended up being the craziest. Because
Exactly.
they had to put in more work.
and you
to
know who
prove
put in more
themselves.
work? The weak ones and the ones who were less than fortunate. Because what people don't realise, that what makes most youths more hungry and determined, they never had shit when they were young. Their parents couldn't afford it, bro.
Yeah.
Come on, man. From the age of what? You're bound to 16 or 18, you're under your mum and father's responsibility and care. If your mum don't have the money to buy a nice care mat, so she went and bought you a high tech, that will ridicule you in school.
Yeah, you're like, oh,
You understand? So those youths
Yeah.
got dissed up, got badded up wherever they went because they were less than fortunate. And to tell you the truth, that's what made most of these so-called men them become what they are. They came ruthless. Remember, you got to always remember this, in the 80s there was a highly cracked pandemic, not epidemic, pandemic. It was like in the 80s and mid-90s, every nigga smoked food.
Yeah.
How about that? And now we've got kids running around in year 2000 with DNA, crack and cocaine running through their veins while they're losing their heads, juking up man left, right and centre. And remember this, bro. And the reason why I'm saying it, because there's years of seeing it, bro. It's experience. I can't sit down here and talk to you about things and I've never done it. Bro, I'll be honest with any of you. People say it's a trap. You're damn right, it's one of them. Because if it ain't, money would always be your trap. Because if you don't have it, you would have to go and get it or make it. If you can't get a job, then what do you do? Hustle.
Yeah.
And some people can't hustle and can't do that. So what they do is the easiest thing, thief.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Yeah, survival.
the
It's
next minute,
instincts, it's natural.
and not only that, they feed off their habits. Come on, man, you got bare youths. Not only that, is on their molly, they're popping their balloons,
The
all
lean
sorts
and
of
that.
things, the lean, you know? Not to say that these drugs have affected all of us, man. Any man who came off the ends will tell you, they can't lie about it, bro. If alcohol never took you, drug, crack and cocaine did you.
And I'm young, I'm younger than you, but I'm seeing that now. I'm getting to this age.
Yeah.
That raw alcohol. Like I was watching something about alcohol the other day. They're saying alcohol is the worst drug out there.
Of course. You know why?
Because they're saying it's like heroin, crack, all of that.
No,
in
let me
one.
explain it to you more. The alcohol when I was younger was like Rude Boy, Holston Pills, Heineken, Strongbow, Special Brew, Tenants. Them drinks there. Right.
Power juice.
Stop now. Do you remember in the 90s about hooch?
Yeah, yeah.
Hooch was the first drink that actually has sugar in it.
Okay.
See, and other additives and flavouring to make it addictive, just like penny sweets. Then you come to now, and you could go to any club and you could get white drink, green drink, black drink, bomber clout, gold drink. Any colour drink in the rainbow you can get, or any possible colour you could think of, can be alcohol now. How about that, bro?
Because when you think Hooch I think it was one of the first alcohols. Now you're saying that aimed at kids, because it was a kids drink.
Because
in school, that's what Hooch and them things, Lambrini, that's what man.
No.
First.
I gotta give you some real. See, we 70s youths, we know about Baby Sham.
Oh,
That was a mini champagne buckle where you man can drink you christening and birthdays or whatever. You see, look at you in the dance like myself and we were with Baby Sham.
Yeah.
Because that was like how it was, bro.
That was the first juice still. Man used to feel special when man the Baby Sham, bro. Little champagne, little bottle and that.
And not to like really drift off the point. Now that's what I'm saying with the youths. Everything we always knew as parents and grandparents, the devil were always after was picking them. What mess could picking them back? And that's the generation going on. We be saying it now. I never thought I would say the youths them are bad, but fuck's sake, I've seen youths walking around, like my name's Captain Rambo. There's youths who's got knives to make me look like, what am I on?
Yeah.
Rude boy, you ain't, what? Man's got knife long as my feet to ask like now. Yeah, down there, tracksuit bottoms and shit.
Like back in the day, we had the little
or
the butterfly knife.
I'll tell you the truth.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, we used
But
to.
it weren't everyone. I think now there'll be, say there was 10 man when I was growing up anyway, there'll be like one man that was like on the jubbing thing, like he's known for that. But now I think the difference is all of them carry it, if they're involved, or most of them will carry it.
Yeah, not to be like a hypocrite, like, you know, I'm notorious of walking with knives. I've been arrested ever since I was 13 years old with knives, you know, and it's like, to be real and honest, I've done my things with it where I live to regret. Jehovah's Witness, where my conscience my conscience still hasn't set me free yet for half of the badness I used to get up to. But bro, but this is just another thing. There wasn't much cameras back them days. We did have neighborhood watch, but those people there in the houses knew the rules. Couldn't talk really. But now I wouldn't dream of walking with a knife. Then to take it out and wave it around, because next minute I'm risking my life to get tasered or getting shot.
Yeah.
Because one thing with these principles, yeah, like I'm West Indian as well, so having a knife wasn't just walking around to pull up people. It was just, your knife was like extended to your fucking hand where you used to cut tin or baked beans.
The culture.
Yeah, it was the culture, bro. It was the culture. Remember, like, with us West Indian, I could only talk for myself as being a Jamaican descendant. We always had a ratchet, and that ratchet is used to cut a weed, to cut fruit.
So domestic.
Well, you have a knife, you have a fork, you might need a knife.
Some man even roll with blades in their
yeah,
mouth.
have blades. No.
See, uncle used to roll with blades
I
in
hear
his
this.
mouth.
More of the old school men, them used to have their hats like this, yeah, peachy blinders, and have their razor blades stuck in there. Yeah, and when like the Teddy Boys come out and rock and roll you. People don't understand that meaning. That it was the Teddy Boys who will come. That rock and roll or rolling on, man, really come from the Teddy Boys, them, bro. Because when they come and roll on you and give you 2 joke on your clock, it was your grandfather who kind of counted that counterpart. So respect the Windrush generation, because them people, when they came here, not only they came with their family and to build a new life, they was fighting, they had fights of all sides, if you understand.
They was the one fighting off the NFs.
Yeah,
and
like
all them man there.
Yeah.
How comfortable
and your
you are
parents,
now.
yeah. Because remember, the skinheads, our counterparts was called Rude Boys. They'll say 1969, innit? Where the Scar and all of that, where the great Prince Boston and man there, Delroy Wilson, was classed as Rude Boys. And the man them of that generation, like our dads who grow up, and that was really classed as Rude Boys because of the working class. They never called us working class enough. They called them skinheads, who was fascist working class, and called us Rude Boys, but forget the working class, because we were working class. Most of our parents and grandparents was all in the building trade. If there wasn't a builder, a mason, they were actually a labourer.
You have to have a trade.
You have to have a trade. You understand, innit?
Yeah, that's the backbone of the community, really.
And that was the real backbone of it still.
Yeah.